Hello everybody, this is Terry Jeanette with Be Creative, and today we are joining in on a collaboration challenge with a group of ladies. There's 4 of us all together. There's Tammy over at Peacecraft Dolls, and then there's Cheryl over at Cherished Doll Friends, and Karyn over at Starches and Stitches. So the 4 of us are doing a challenge today on 18-inch dolls for Valentine's Day. I have 2 18-inch dolls. I have an American Girl doll and an Our Generation doll. This is Julie, this is Terry, and I'm actually going to dress one of them in Valentine's, and the other one is going to be something else that is pretty popular in February, especially here in Louisiana. So I dug around in my stash of 18-inch clothes and I came across this cute little dress. My sister made it, Tammy Pally. She makes a lot of the stuff I have. Some of the stuff I have made, but not this. And we've got little hearts in it, and I thought this will be perfect. And I know one of my dolls actually has shoes this color, so that will be nice. And then we've got Mardi Gras. So my other doll actually has purple shoes, so she's going to be the Mardi Gras doll. And I haven't figured out which side. Again, my sister made this skirt. It's reversible. I wonder if I could do it like that. Would that look strange? Because I can't decide if I want it on this side or this side. But I'm going to go ahead and get them dressed. They're still in their Christmas stuff. And then we're going to make some jewelry for them. So before I get them dressed in their new clothes, I just wanted to kind of highlight what they have on. I made both of these. They're actually bracelets. They're about a 7-inch to 7.5-inch bracelets. They work really well for chokers. There's this one. I wired that all up. And they're my personal bracelets. But I guess these girls kind of stole them. So they're all dressed. And honestly, those necklaces actually look good with what they have on. But I want this girl to have a new Valentine's necklace. And I want this girl to have a new Mardi Gras necklace. I decided to go ahead and put it on this side of the skirt. The other side is more of a pink color, and I definitely want purple. We need to add some green and gold in with her outfit. And I do have, I believe, the perfect beads for this dress. Look at this dress. We have oranges, we have pinks and reds and peaches. And look at these beads. I think they're going to be a perfect match for this. I'm going to use this aluminum craft wire. It's 20 gauge. It's a very soft, flexible wire and very easy to work with. And what I'm actually going to be doing is making a very simple link chain that I will turn into a necklace for the doll. So in addition to the wire, we're going to need some wire cutters, some round nose pliers, and let's see, some type of a flat nose plier. You can use bent nose plier, chain nose pliers. But the first thing I'm going to do is get my wire. I'm going to put a bead onto the wire. I'm going to use my round nose pliers to wrap a loop. And you can do a messy wrap or a neat wrap. It's your choice. I am going to go ahead, probably go about that far on my round nose pliers. If I wanted a bigger loop, I could come down here. If I wanted a smaller loop, I could go up here. But I usually like to go about right here for these links. And I don't want a big wrap. So we're going probably about 1 inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to go around like that. And then I'm just going to wrap a loop. Wrap around the loop like this. And there's a little burr that sticks out there. This is why you need these type pliers to bend that end in like that. And then I feel around to make sure it's not sticking out. Put the bead down. And we're going to wrap another loop. Notice I have my wire on my spool. I use less wire that way. There's less waste. Okay, basically we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to wrap around a couple times. Clip and tuck. All right. So I need to decide if I want to do some jump rings or not. I don't think I do. You could make a bunch of these and then use jump rings to attach them, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to attach them together. So we're going to put the bead on the wire. We're going to start our loop, but before we start wrapping, we're going to take this, put it on like that, and now we can start wrapping the loop. Now sometimes these loops may get a little wonky, but those are easy to fix. See how it's bent there? You can just take around those pliers and kind of adjust it a little bit so they look like they should. Boom, like that. Okay. Go ahead and tuck this wire in. Now see, that is sticking. I can feel it sticking. Or poking, I guess you could say. You don't want it to poke you. Still poking a little bit. Kind of hard to get at the right angle here, where you're seeing what I'm doing and where I'm seeing what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Bring the bead up. So we have two of them. Make the other loop. I think I hear a helicopter. I don't know if y'all hear it. We live pretty close to a hospital, so we get a lot of helicopter traffic. All right. Tuck her in. And we've got two links. Now I'm going to finish up, and I'm going to be doing this until I think I have it long enough, and I'm going to check to see if it's long enough where I want it on the doll. And if it's not long enough, I'll just keep adding until I have enough. But I will come back instead of boring you with all this wiring and show you what I plan to do next as far as the clasp goes. I've got it pretty much done. I don't have a clasp on it. Once I put the clasp on it, it should drop down a little bit longer, just depending on how big the clasp is. But it's turning out really nice. Here it is. I don't know what's wrong with my phone. It's very cloudy. Ever since I got the new update on my iPhone, things have not been the same. Have any of you had issues with the newest update? Anyway, I'm really liking how this is turning out. All I need to do is figure out how we're going to do the clasp. So as far as clasp goes, I'm kind of making this up as I go. I have this new gadget here that I absolutely love. It's round nose pliers, they call them a 6-step plier, and it's 6 different sizes of basically this. So if you don't have one of these, you could actually use one of these. And basically all I did was I started out and I used this size, and I kept about 1 inch, and I wrapped the wire around like so. And then with this, I went ahead and wrapped it around. And this is very, very flimsy wire. So I would not recommend making yourself a clasp for this. For the dolls, it's fine. They don't move around a lot and it will stay on. For somebody like us, though, humans that move around a lot, I'm not for sure it would actually really stay on. So I do not recommend making a clasp like this for yourself, because I'm not for sure how sturdy it is. So that's basically what I did there. And then it's like I said, this is very flimsy. I went ahead and hammered it just to strengthen it. Whenever you hammer wire, I think it's called annealing, which it stiffens it up. It makes it stronger. Okay, now this is the part I haven't done yet. I think I'm going to take. This is the part I want to attach to here. So I am going to take this size, I think. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap it around. And before I do all the wrapping, I'm going to go ahead and cut that, because I'm going to put this on here. And, you know, if this doesn't work out, then we can just cut it off. And then go ahead and wrap this around. Like so. Like I said, I am making this up as I go. So you're seeing some design on the fly here. Okay, make sure that's all tucked in. It's not scratchy. So we have that. Now I need to do the hook. Move this aside. Hooks are pretty easy to do. Where'd my wire go? Here it is. Okay. So I'm going to use the smallest. I want to make sure that's flush cut. If it's not flush cut, you cut this part here and it will make it flat. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make a P. Like so. And then, let's see. I think I want this a little smaller. Again, I'm designing on the fly here. So I'm going to use my round nose pliers because I want this to be smaller. Okay, there's my P. All right, now I want this to be a little bit bigger. We're going to use maybe this one. And we're just going to make a shepherd's hook. Like that. All right, I am going to hammer this so I can toughen it up a little bit. And you don't have to kill it. All right, and now we need to make a little loop down here. I'm just going to cut about that much. Because again, we're going to put it on this side. And I'm going to use my round nose pliers for this. What about down here? Go ahead and... But before I wrap it, I'm going to put it on here. And then we can wrap it around. Make sure that's tucked in and not sticking out. I think we're done. Boom, boom. Here we go. Look at that. All right. Well, let's put it on my doll. Fix this a little bit. There. All right. That looks great on her. It's a perfect length. That's exactly where I wanted it to land. And you know what? This is actually becoming a pretty long video. So Terry's all decked out in her Valentine outfit, but Julie's a little sad. She's like, where's my Mardi Gras outfit? So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do a separate video on making her a Mardi Gras necklace for her Mardi Gras outfit. And by the time this is loaded up and you're watching it, it will already be posted. So I'll leave a link down in the description box below so you can go check out Julie's video on how I'm making her Mardi Gras necklace. By the way, I would like to say it's okay to make that type of clasp if you have a stiffer wire, and I'll address that in Julie's video. We'd like to thank y'all for joining us today for this collaboration challenge, and I really hope you go check out the videos of the other participants. They're very, very talented. And I'll leave links to their channels down in the description box below. Y'all have a great day. This is Terry Jeanette with Be Creative. Signing out for now. Bye-bye.